I 34 and my wife 29 have decided not to invite her sister H and her sister's husband C to my wife's birthday. H for years has condescended us, often giving backhanded comments about my job not being good enough, us not saving money, or other insults in regards to my family during the holidays. During Mother's Day we visited my wife's mom and had taken our new puppy to the party to become accustomed to people. This was fine, however H's son, a rowdy 3-year-old, was rough with the dog, yanking his fur leash and even hitting him with a stick at one point. Each time I had to step in and stop the child from harming my dog. After dinner on the lawn the nephew went over to begin tormenting the dog. At this point I raised my voice, due to everyone around being loud, and commanded him to stop. At this point H got upset and began screaming, saying, "Just move the fucking dog, just fucking move it if it's such a fucking problem." I was mad, but I held it together and went to move the dog while my wife argued with H, who was saying that she was tired of hearing us telling her kid to stop all day. After this the nephew immediately went over to the dog again and my wife pointed it out to H, who began yelling, saying, "Leave the fucking dog alone, they don't want you near their dog because it's a little fucking princess." I immediately began to pack up our things and the rest of the family went inside as HC and my wife and I argued. They began yelling at us that we weren't allowed to parent their child, that we were choosing the dog over their child, and that they didn't know why we even bothered visiting the family anymore. We left and talked things over. I made the decision that I wouldn't be going to any family functions, nor would they be welcome to any of ours until they apologized. My wife agreed. My wife's birthday is coming up and I had made a FABE group to plan it. Nobody gave input, so after a talk with my wife we made plans for her birthday that she wanted. I posted this in the group and her mom contacted me saying she had wanted to do a party near them. I asked my wife what she wanted to do and she said she wanted to do the plans we'd made. I informed her mother of this and she then asked about why H and C hadn't been invited to the FABE group. I explained to her that due to their behavior at Mother's Day they weren't invited. Immediately they called me and her mother began yelling at me that I wasn't allowed to not invite H and C because they're family, and I had to forgive them for how they'd acted. I told her that it was our choice to make and that until the situation was rectified they wouldn't be attending. She continued to try to argue with me, bringing God into the conversation, demanding that I was being controlling and trying to keep my wife from my family, and then breaking down into tears. In the end I held my resolve and made sure that they knew that our decision stayed until they reached out to us and apologized. So am I the asshole?